Oh, you came all the way from Sweden.
Do you know
It's
what?
a 4-door that drives like a 2-door.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's decent. Thanks for the free flight. The tickets over here were crazy expensive, so I appreciate you
Welcome
getting me
to
to Monterey.
Monterey.
Thanks, mate. That's brilliant. All right. So, new V8.
Yeah, there you go. New V8.
Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm sold on it. At first I was gonna say this is so fucking stupid, but it's so sick. Whoa.
So here we are again.
Pretty much 12 months to the day, right?
Oh.
Perfect.
Oh, down to the fucking color. It's so
The
sick.
other way around.
It was.
Fuck.
Different color, a little bit smaller maybe.
But there's some big changes.
Oh yeah. So
The owner, Christian Von Koenigsegg, is a great guy with some good opinions. I can't tell if you're being if you're memeing or not. Was Koenigsegg like a I thought he is a good dude, right? No, I don't even think that's a meme. He's like, isn't he like an environmentalist or some shit? Am I making this shit up? I feel like I might be. I might be mistaking it with something else. But like, I thought he was like, not memeing. He was defending Greta Thunberg on a debate at TV in Sweden. Yeah, he's like, they're the most technologically advanced cars in the world, and they're good people.
Here we have the production intent version of the Gemera. Actually, last year, I had no idea that I was going to present what I'm going to present today.
Okay.
Because this all happened over the last year where
Fuck, this car is so... Oh, it's so sick.
we oversaw some
Problem is, you fucking drive this car in Los Angeles, it perishes, okay? It would turn into fucking dust, okay? It's so low to the goddamn ground. Where can you drive this? You can't drive it.
some engineer kind of playing around with engines.
Only 1.7 mil. I mean, low key for a car like this, only 1.7 mil. You just saw all the fucking nutty ass cars.
And we saw
And how
the
expensive
V8
they were.
back on the screen. Hang on a second. That shouldn't be.
Why do you make a 4-seater track car, dude? What the fuck? What are you doing? What, like, who is this for? It's a 4-seater, which implies that it is supposed to be a family vehicle, okay? It is a 4-seater, which means you're supposed to ride it. This is your daily driver, okay? Who in the ever-loving fuck is daily driving a $1.7 million car, let alone what infrastructure in what city allows this vehicle to be driven on a daily basis?
Either, yeah, but it almost fits. So, whoa, you can't unsee that. That was painful. How could that almost fit? It didn't really fit. I mean, the exhaust was kind of climbing into the subframe and so on.
Right.
But then we started saying, what if? What if we do a hot V? Okay, let's remove that. Okay, that fits now. Wow. Then one thing led to another, and one engineer in the transmission, on the transmission side said, let's see if we can do some kind of funky wrapping with. And then the whole thing has snowballed into this 9-speed V8 version of the Gemera.
Wow. So we now have what is effectively, obviously it's a hot V now. And is it hot V so mostly from a packaging point of view?
I mean, the only reason why it is a hot V is that it wouldn't fit otherwise.
Right.
So
Okay.
and it was not a small undertaking. We had to cast new heads with, where everything is shifted around. We had to
Bro,
make
that's
new
not,
intakes.
no, that's not a car engine. That is literally, we're looking at the insides of a spaceship, okay? He's lying. He took a space shuttle and put it in the car.
Intercoolers, a new exhaust system, and I will open this up to show you.
Sure. Yeah.
But it wasn't rocket science. It was just moving things around and getting them in the right place.
See, he's trying to shift your attention away, just like I do at the top of the hour. He's like, oh, it's not rocket science. This is not a space engine. At the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break.
What is a bit rocket science is maybe the transmission.
When Christian says it's not rocket science, I always have to ask him 2 or 3 times to explain it to me.
Right. And maybe it's the wrong. Maybe rocket science sometimes is simpler, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, I mean, we're here a few weeks after you've announced it. So I know that you've managed to maintain luggage space too.
Yes, you can have a look.
How on earth have you done this?
Well, first of all, that we could maintain it at all.
Yes.
Secondly, V8 needs more cooling than a 3-cylinder.
Right.
1500 horsepower needs more cooling than 600 horsepower. So we actually had 3 carry-ons in the back and 1 carry-on on the front.
That's right.
Originally. But when we started working in this area, we saw that if we make the rear crumple zone in carbon fiber, making this area part of the
Dude, I want to kiss it. Look at how, oh God.
crumple zone, we could gain some millimeters, and we did some simulation tests for rear impact and so on, and it actually improved on it. And suddenly, we could have a bigger radiator in the front and an outlet in the front hood to have more downforce. And now we have 4 carry-ons in the back and a V8.
Fuck.
And they're proper size.
Yeah. They're full carry-on size.
Carry-ons.
As big as they're allowed to be on a plane.
I love this attention to detail, how you have the new alloy as the wheels on the wheel of the back.
Yeah, they're the same design as on the car.
And will this be an option to be able to match the color of the
exactly.
bags?
You
to
can
the,
have them fully carbon fiber
well,
or color
exposed
matched.
carbon. So even when you're not on a road trip and it isn't.
Who is this for? No one is answering my question. It's sick, and I'm glad they made it. Who is this for? Because if you're making a track car, you can't use the track car as a daily driver because it's a track car. It's literally designed to only operate on a fucking track. You're supposed to lug it around. The YouTuber who was interviewing him bought one to drive where? Like, guys, here's the question I have for you, okay? I have not a fucking luxury exotic vehicle, but I have a decently expensive 4-door that also drives like a 2-door, okay? The Taycan. Those things are designed not as track cars or not as like cars that you take out on the track, but you can do that, okay? If you want to, you can do that. But even then, it's like kind of difficult, okay? It's kind of difficult to drive it on LA roads. I have a friend with a 100K Beamer and he's going to racetracks regularly. On Mondays, he drives it to a job though. Yeah, because that's a Beamer. And the Taycan and the Beamer are cars that you can have as a daily driver. They're not $1.7 million. And also, I feel like driving, those cars are literally designed to be able to drive on the road first and foremost. This car, I feel like you wouldn't be able to drive it around unless there's like an insane suspension kit in it where it just like magically puts the car up to like a reasonable level. I don't know. It's drivable. It raises in height. Look at the video of the Koenigsegg Gemera.
Actually, and I never thought I'd use this word, but the practicality of this is real.
It is. And I mean, we have, if you look here on the roof, we have these nice little machined clasps where you can screw in a nice arrow-shaped carbon fiber roof rack and also a nice arrow-shaped ski box.
You're going to have to do some CFD on that ski.
I'm not going to lie. I think this is a way better rich guy thing to buy than watches. Although watches are much easier to just like warehouse, I think that this is actually sick. Like when rich dudes buy watches, I'm like, ugh, who cares? Like, but this is fire. Okay? This is so sick. This makes sense. And before people say, well, cars actually have function, the design on this makes it not necessarily functional because I don't know how well you could just like drive this around.
Box.
We are. There is a sensor so when it's on, the car doesn't drive faster than 300 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
With a ski box on.
300 kilometers an hour. Yeah, nice and dialed back then.
And talking about practicality, of course, we have the hot and cold cup holders that are now increased in size in the production version.
Okay.
And on top of that, we have 3 seats with ISOFIX. So you can have 3 child seats in the car.
So it genuinely is. I mean, I know this is a wild word to use in the context of something with what now has the best part.
That's
of
nuts.
300 horsepower.
Exactly.
It genuinely has practicality.
Absolutely. I mean, you have wireless phone.
Yeah, it's only practical if you live next to the Autobahn. It's like, what do you mean? I love this car. I love my daily driver. I drive it on the Autobahn every day.
Charging, you have CarPlay, you can watch video, you can go out on the internet. They have a fabulous sound system. It's four-wheel drive, four-wheel torque vectoring. I mean, we have the dark matter e-motor we developed as well.
This didn't exist last year.
No, it didn't.
Never mind this
It's an evolution
engine.
of the Quark engine.
Right.
So, of course, doing all of this means that the program is taking a little bit longer time. But now, it is the best version of what it could be ever. It's just madness.
So let's just set some context here, right? Do you have a benchmark what it'll weigh?
Yes, so it's just over 1,900 kilos curb weight. And
So that's operating with fluids.
it's with 70% of the fuel tank and all the
Okay.
fluids and everything. In a way, that sounds a little bit heavy. But if you put it into context, if you have taken like a two-seater hypercar electric, that's like
Yes.
2.2, 2.3 tons.
Yeah.
If you take a famous French-German brand with
Yes.
a lot of cylinders, two-seater, that's like
Yes.
over 2 tons.
Uh-huh.
So in that context, it's unbelievably light.
It really is.
And it's a hybrid with
And
a
it's
V8.
got 4 seats.
4 seats, four-wheel drive, four-wheel torque vectoring. So it is super light,
This is
especially with
sick.
2,300 horsepower. I mean, this is the
I'm buying this car, dude. That's
car
it.
that has the highest horsepower per
Your
kilo
sub
we've
money's
ever
going
made.
to the
When
car.
we simulate this for big tracks, it's like we don't believe the numbers we're seeing. And also 0 to 400, 0 to 250, I mean,
It's gonna
It's-
bend diaphragms, isn't it? This thing, it's gonna be wild.
It's madness, yeah.
Crikey.
But again, this super tactile usability, practicality, all baked in.
So around about 1,900 kilograms operating weight with close to 2,300 horsepower.
Yes.
I mean, it mustn't seem that long ago for you when you achieved the unicorn 1-to-1.
That's 2014.
Right. So in the grand scheme of things,
like 10 yeah,
it's
so
not
10
long
years
ago,
ago. No,
right?
exactly.
And now here we are
With a
some-
hybrid.
with a hybrid,
With 4 seats.
yes, that has exceeded the 1-to-1.
Exactly. Of course, you always, if you can have one-to-one with the lowest possible weight,
Yes.
that's beneficial.
Sure.
But if you take any kind of 4 or 5-seater car
Yes.
with much less performance and power, this is super duper light.
Unbelievable. So back to the packaging then, and being able to make this a possibility. At the dealer conference, you touched on and named the sort of formation of the transmission a tourbillon.
Exactly. When we started creating this transmission, it is of course an intricate thing because it wraps around the engine. And normally you want to have as few parts as possible and as simple solution as possible. And this is a bit intricate to make that happen. But it's all for good reasons. Because
Crazy thing about these cars is that they actually appreciate in value instead of depreciating like our normie cars. If you want a car that fucking appreciates in value and is a normie car, buy a Toyota, like a Land Cruiser or a Hilux. And also, I mean, other than that, all jokes aside, this is not a car, dude. This is like drivable art.
we could remove 2 electrical motors and 2 inverters. And we anyway had gearing on the side of the engine for the electrical motors that we revamped into connecting to the 9-speed. So we actually got rid of components and weight by making a very intricate transmission, mostly based on the ESCO, of course. The actual shifting mechanisms and the gears and everything, that's ESCO. And then we kind of took the space we had for the e-motor transmissions and connected that to the ESCO transmission to create this wild U-shaped wraparound transmission. And of course, in watchmaking, the highest level of watchmaking is a tourbillon.
Yes.
It's like where you have the most interesting complexity to compensate for gravity and temperatures and the most accurate mechanical precision you can have.
Yes.
So it just popped into mind that this is the world's first tourbillon transmission.
Crikey.
Because it is complex for a good reason, because it enables the whole car to happen with 9-speed, no flywheel, no clutch, 4-wheel drive on the combustion engine.
How do you get this car fixed? I assume that when this car gets any kind of issues, you probably fly out the engineer, right? If you're buying a $1.7 million daily driver, then that means you have enough money to like fly out the fucking auto mechanic all the way from Sweden. You overnight it to fucking Sweden, dude.
Or you can drive pure EV with 4-wheel drive, torque
Yeah, you drive this to the nearest Jiffy Lube, dude.
vectoring at the same time, if you want, if you choose to.
You know what's funny? I mean, we've been filming together now for quite some years, and I think I've said it a lot over the years that normally when I stand next to you, you've either broken a world record or come up with some new proprietary solution to achieving something. In this, he was saying earlier, you've had a win, a win, a win, a win. And all of this is all off the back of genuinely trying to make something better. It's not there for styling or for doing it just because. I mean, it turns out not having a flywheel is a good thing.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's just pure, more straight to the point and removing things. With the Tourbillon, yes, we added things to be able to have.
Only 8 Koenigsegg's are allowed to drive in the U.S. currently, all older models, so you'd have to move to Sweden. Wait, what? There's only 8 of these in the United States? Wait, no shot. That's not true at all. Oh, you mean 8 models? Oh, I thought you meant there's only 8 total Koenigseggs that are like in the United States. Wait, what? No, like 8 total. Wait, what? Koenigseggs in the U.S. don't really get along. Currently, only 8 Koenigseggs cars are allowed in the U.S., but all 8 are older CCX models. There are several other models that recently arrived in the U.S., including 1.1, but will not be permitted on the road. What the fuck? I mean, I'm sure there's more. There's no shot that there's only 8. I'm sure there's more. And it's 8 models, by the way. It wasn't 8 total cars. But also, I feel like when you have that, when you have that car, what are they gonna do, bro? Cops don't even fucking know what it is. You know what I mean? They probably think it's like a McLaren or something. Who's gonna stop you?
The engine where it needs to be to have a 4-seater, and to have the 4-wheel drive system with the dark matter electrical motor.
You can't register them? Well, there is a label on the back.
But it's still as few components you can have to achieve it.
Sure.
So it is minimalism with a nice level of elegant complexity.
And a great sound. And a great sound. Wow. And we are still using compound clutching to change gears.
Exactly what you drove today. Actually, the internals of the Tourbillon transmission, where you actually have the shifting, that is the same.
Right.
So where you have the differential and bevel gear, it's kind of on the other side of the transmission, on the other side of the shaft, but there is no differential. It's just the bevel gear, and it's smaller because we don't need to have the same gear ratio. We don't actually need to change ratio much at all, because we just have the shaft of the bevel gear going out to these 2 side clutches that goes out to the 2 side transmissions, where you have the final drive ratio happening. So you can have a really small bevel gear and compact it like that. And then of course the clutches allows torque vectoring instead of a differential, like we have on the front axle, like we always had on the front axle.
Right.
Actually.
Okay. So dark matter, run me through this. This is
Yes.
the world's first 6-phase electric motor.
I would say world's first 6-phase for automotive use.
Okay.
I think there might have been for other uses.
Sure, but within the automotive world. And at that size, too.
Yeah, I mean,
right. That's unheard
I've
of.
never seen anything like this one. And
we're talking like that sort of size.
yeah, it's about this size and this thick. I wish I had one to show you, but you can see a picture.
We could splice in a shot now, and this generates around about 800 horsepower.
So it's 600 kilowatt, which is almost exactly 800 horsepower,
Yes.
and 1250 newton meters out of 38 kilogram.
I don't even know how that number's real.
So
Absolutely
it's
berserk.
a mad number
Yes.
for that compact size. And how can it be so power and torque dense? Well, there are several secrets to it, or tricks to it, or however I should say. So a lot of development in the actual magnetic flux.
Okay.
And why is it called dark matter? So no one actually knows what magnetism is. It's just a phenomenon we can make use of. We don't know what it is, but we know how to use it. And
Bro, he said the car is powered by dark energies, dude. He said we got elves. We got fucking actual wood elves in the fucking engine. Nobody knows how it works. I don't know. I don't even know how I did it.
And there's a lot of speculation. It probably has something to do with dark matter or dark energy, this kind of unknown in the universe.
Right.
So that's actually the force we're using to make it work. So it was a suitable name. And then, of course, it's made out of carbon fiber, which is kind of a dark matter in itself, right? So it kind of was suitable. That's the other reason. So we have very good control over the flux, where we're utilizing kind of the big diameter to get a lot of leverage for torque, but also refined to have a higher output of power at a reasonably high RPM by some clever ways of using the flux. The housing is carbon fiber, and it just removed a lot of metal where you normally have metal.
So in a weird way, having more cylinders has allowed you to rely a little bit less on the hybrid drivetrain and save weight there.
Yeah, exactly. So more cylinders, but we also make a 3-cylinder version still.
Yes. Yeah.
So it has a little bit less power than a V8, of course. But it's also because we have 9 gears to choose from.
Right.
So you're always in the right power band of the engine. I mean, the Regera and direct drive is amazing, and it's torque filled by the electrical motor and gives as much grip as you can on a 2-wheel drive car. But here we have 4-wheel drive. So we can put more power to the ground, and having then gears to always be in the maximum power band at any speeds is helpful, and means we could reduce the amount of electrical complexity and thereby also save weight to make the V8 version almost unnoticeably heavier than it was with a 3-cylinder with 3 electrical motors.
That's crazy. Wow. So
and very engaging with this transmission.
the transmission is sublime. So from a point of view that when you say this is the sort of close to or production spec, it's not only the fact that there is now on offer the V8, but it's also the fit and finish inside, the quality of the materials.
This is extremely close to production spec. I mean, it's all tooling, all the bodywork, all the chassis is production tooling. Controllers are production controllers. The engine spec is production. So it is very, very close, but it's a pre-production car, but with production parts super high and going stratospheric on details. You can start it if you want.
Can I start it?
Yeah.
Ho, 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 ho. That's got some energy. Goodness gracious me.
Nut.
Wow. Is it okay to give it a subtle blip? It's restricted to 4,000, right?
Yeah, it's limited, so you can't go do anything wrong.
Different energy in this thing.
This is not your like Bentley or Rolls Royce kind of 4 or 5 seat. This is a 2-seater mega car with 2 more seats with 4 carry-on bags. But I'm not saying that it's uncomfortable. It's as you notice with the Esco, you can drive super comfortably.
Look at the chairs. Like the seats are way slimmer too.
It's just that it's alive.
It's really rare in our industry to witness a new product category.
Breed almost.
Yes, this is a totally different thing. Like there's nothing to compare it to.
I don't know what to compare it to.
There isn't, right? It doesn't exist.
Well, this one exists.
This one does, yeah.
I only hate the steering wheel. I don't even have a problem with the steering wheel, but I hate the fucking middle panel. I hate that.
It's just the wildest contraption, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, but you could. I really feel like you could daily this.
You
like
can.
I
mean, it's. You can drive it electrically super quiet if you want with 800 horsepower. Or you can have the rumbling monster. Yeah, exactly. And it's 4-wheel drive wheel torque vectoring on electric as well. So, and then when you want to rumble, you start up. You can drive quietly through London.
Yeah.
Whatever
Waft on through London, and then you can.
And then you have this amazing range. I mean, when we removed the 2 inverters, we got more fuel tank space. So we have 115 liters of fuel space. So you can run this thing close
115 liters.
Yeah, you can. If you charge it fully and also you empty your battery, you can get close to 1,000-kilometer range on this. It's just wild. I mean, of course, not at any high speed, but just cruising.
But it's capable.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think a Range Rover has that size fuel tank.
It's big.
It's a big fuel tank.
You don't need to fill it fully up if you don't want to.
I don't get it. So how is this a car? And then all of the other cars that you can currently buy and drive are also in the same category. I just simply do not understand it. How can current technology allow someone to build a car like this and also on top of that have like 30 gallons of fucking oil, 30 gallons of gas tank space. Like, the fuck is everybody else doing then? Like, these guys are... I don't get it. I actually don't get it. Multi-million-dollar car. Gas tank equals current technology. Yeah, but a 30-mile tank on the... I mean, a 30-gallon tank on a car like this is wild, isn't it? Especially for how light it is, but I guess that's all carbon fiber, right? It's not spending half of its weight/volume on crumple zones, etc. Would you buy it if it didn't mean all the absolute freaks with the 10x death threats you're getting? No.
But it has that amazing capacity. You can wirelessly charge your phone there as well. And then you have
If you crash this thing, you're probably insta-dead or burned to death. There is 0% chance that a fucking EU street legal vehicle doesn't have safety standards that are up to snuff with American safety standards. You're out of your mind. It's like when that one chatter tried to tell me that like EU food safety regulation oftentimes doesn't allow American food into the marketplace. And it's like, yeah, because American foods are worse. 30 liters, not gallons? No, 30 gallons, 115 liters or however much.
the hot and cold cup holders.
So how hot and cold are we talking here?
It's about a bit over 50 degrees for your coffee, which is a nice hot coffee,
Right.
and down to like 6 degrees on your soda.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, the anti-car guy is back. He goes, every car is a death trap though, no matter what regulations. Sounds like shit. We get it, man. You hate cars, okay? You want everybody to fucking bike everywhere, okay? I got it. I can see your fucking gauge earrings from here, okay, chatter? Like I can basically see what you look like in my mind right now with how you're writing. You have one of those like weird tattoos that goes directly from your lip all the way down to your chin. You know what I mean? You have a weird ass accent, even though you fucking grew up in Portland your whole life. And you got the fattest gauges I've ever seen, and you only bike. You bike everywhere. Bro, I don't even know how to bike. Wait, what? What are you fucking... you're lying. What do you, skate everywhere? So you think all cars are death traps? How do you get places? Do you walk? Oh my God, this motherfucker is Amish, bro. He's not actually... He's just Amish. Bro gallops everywhere because he's a fucking horse, dude.
So it's...
I remember when we did the factory walk and talk about 18 months back, you introduced me to the engineer on this particular project.
It's a big project.
He's been on it for 2 years.
Yeah, it's a big project.
The cup-holder
engineer. It's like a lot of aerodynamic simulation of flow and ribs and making it light and having this Peltier effect and and also if you look at it, it's metal down there and you have a little surface going up underneath the can to have contact.
No, you're kidding.
So it's like super complex, this thing.
I guess this thing's never really existed in a car, but has there been any rules and regs around making it too hot or too cold?
We could make it a little bit hotter.
Sure.
Colder, that's about as cold as we can get it.
Right.
But hotter we could do, but then you might end up in...
Might get hot fingers.
Yeah, it's a shower or something, right? So you have to watch out a little bit.
Wow, but generally it's going to keep things cool on a long run.
You'll be happy with your coffee for our... I mean, you know, coffee gets stale after a while.
Sure,
but I don't know, some other hot drink then.
Okay. That's enough. We've done enough car stuff. Dude, I want to kiss it. Look at how... Oh, God.